has to be 7:01. Oh, true. That's true. Good point.
We have a
He usually tells me to slow down. I think I'll go really slow for Jeremy's
executive
sake.
session.
We do not have a member of the Ministerial Alliance here this evening, so please stand for a moment of silence. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. I call the November 1st, 2021 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Here.
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 Present.
Here.
Here, thank you. The next item on the agenda is new business, deletions, or continuances. We do not have any of those this evening, so we will move on to public comments. City Clerk, do we have any this evening? There are no public comments, so we will move on to the next item, which is the consent agenda approval. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the Board of Aldermen, by unanimous vote, can designate one motion to approve these items. Tonight, we have the approval of the October 18th, 2021 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes and the expenditures through October 28th, 2021.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We do not have any of that this evening, so we will move on to new business. The first item of new business is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding an ordinance calling an election in City of Oak Grove, Missouri on April 5th, 2022. Would that be you, Kim? All right.
This is just the standard ordinance calling the election for April 5th. Thank you. This is just the standard ordinance calling the election for April 5th, 2022.
Thank you.
Motion for the first and second reading by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full bill 2 times?
An ordinance calling an election in the City of Oak Grove, Missouri on April 5th, 2022. An ordinance calling an election in the City of Oak Grove, Missouri on April 5th, 2022.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of the ordinance. Any discussion? Hold on, back up. That would need to be for the adoption.
Move for the adoption of the ordinance.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of the ordinance. Any discussion? City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brandy Carroll,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes.
Kim Vickers,
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Brad Alexander,
Yes.
Kelly Netto.
Yes.
Motion is approved and the ordinance is adopted. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding approval to sell surplus property from Public Works, Parks, and the Police Department.
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet is a list of surplus items from Public Works, Parks, and Police Departments that we'd like to sell on govdeals.com. If our request is approved, we would advertise the items for a 2-week period, starting as soon as I can get everything entered into the website. We would put a minimum starting bid and a reserve on some of the more expensive items, such as the cars, the trucks, and the backhoe. And the buyer would pay a 7.5% administrative fee to GovDeals to cover the cost. We are asking for approval to proceed listing these items on govdeals.com. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Tom.
Why do you have 2 rabbit cages listed?
I'm sorry?
Said, why is there 2 rabbit cages listed?
Probably animal control?
Oh,
That was, yeah, as you know, we're finishing up our animal control facility at the old
so
public
it's
safety
just like
center.
extras?
They were extra ones, right?
Anyway, I just thought it was funny that it was on there.
I make a motion that we approve I make a motion to approve the surplus property from Public Works, Parks, and the Police Department.
Second.
I have a motion and a second regarding approval to sell surplus property from Public Works Park Department. Any discussion?
You're wondering the term, it's pronounced SCADA is our acronym for it.
Okay.
That stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition, and I just actually learned that today. And it's the computer hardware and software that controls our water distribution and sanitary sewer collection system. And this includes our wastewater treatment plant, all of our lift stations, water towers, and water boosters. SCADA systems are not really off-the-shelf systems. They're kind of bought and then they're customized to meet the client's needs. RW Vaught Technical Service has been servicing our SCADA system for more than 15 years and customized it, and we consider them a proprietary to them. We are in need of like 7 upgrades that's listed in your packet, and we are seeking approval with RW Vaught in the amount of $47,000, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Tom. Does the board have any questions?
Motion to approve the contract with RW Watt for upgrades to the SCADA system.
Second.
We have a motion and a second regarding the agreement with RW Vaught for the approval of the upgrades for the SCADA system. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a change order number 1 with Phillips Paving Company for the 2021 overlay project.
Thank you.
That's you again.
Me as well. The board approved a contract with Phillips Paving back on June 21st of this year for our overlay contract in the amount of $519,365.29. Part of that $519,356 included a $10,000 contingency, since this was a unit cost on estimated quantities. We did end up overrunning that $10,000 contingency by $5,175.88. So we're requesting authorization to pay Phillips Paving the additional $5,175, which is that $15,000 overrun was only 3% of the total contract, which is pretty good. And some of the reasons are on the base bid where we did Salem. Some areas where there were some depressions that got a little thicker than the 2-inch estimates. Over here on 21st, 19th, and 22nd Street, we went through the intersections. And I also got a little closer to the railroad tracks on Salem, which is one of the reasons for these overruns. I might add, in future contracts, I'm going to try to up that contingency from initially it was 2%, maybe a 5 or 10% contingency just to cover these, so I don't have to come back to you in future years. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Tom. Does the board have any questions?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the change order 1 regarding Phillips Paving. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding an ordinance approving low-income household water assistance program supplier agreement with the Department of Social Services Family Support Division and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. Mr. Randall?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So the Missouri Department of Social Services has launched a new program to assist eligible households with water and sewer bills, titled the Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. The program is modeled after an existing low-income household energy assistance program. The program is administered across the state through 16 contracted agencies. So the Missouri Department of Social Services contracts with these 16 agencies to administer the program. The agency that will administer the program in our area is the Mid-America Assistance Coalition. That encompasses Jackson County, Clay County, and Platte County. There is a key difference between the energy assistance program and the water assistance program. That being that program payment must be sent directly to the utility on behalf of the eligible customer. So this agreement before the board would authorize the city to accept pledges for payment from the Department of Social Services on behalf of those eligible customers. The Department of Social Services would then send us a monthly check to reconcile those pledges with our utility customers. Eligible customers would be a certain percentage of income. In your packet, you'll see the household size as well as the relative monthly income that household would have to have. It also would be eligible for seniors as well as those on disability. The program would authorize eligible households up to $750 worth of assistance, and the program is scheduled to be effective now through September 30th of 2023. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have about the program.
Thank you, Matt.
Is that $750 annually, or for the entirety of the program per individual? Just curious.
You know, I don't know if it's annually or for the life of the program. Let me look, see if it's...
There's no cost to the city, it appears. So
No.
I guess we would just have to, someone would have to provide that list on a regular basis, is that right?
Yeah, so how the program would work is the household would have to apply to the Department of Social Services to see if they're eligible for the program. The Department of Social Services would then keep an eligible list of customers. They then would send that list to us, and we would have to look and make sure that what the customer has sent to Department of Social Services is in fact correct. And then we would respond back to the Department of Social Services that says, yes, we will accept that pledge for that low-income household. So for instance, if a customer said, hey, I'm at risk of disconnect and I owe $500, and we get that back from the Department of Social Services, we look at our records and show that account is in good standing, we'd get back to the Department of Social Services and say that's incorrect, either they had the wrong address or what have you, and so to ensure that payments are being made to the right customers. But no, there would be no cost to the city other than some administrative time looking at that report.
We don't get a choice on whether we participate with this or not, do we?
We do. We could not participate, but the difference being between the water and energy, on the energy side, the Department of Social Services will still send payments directly to the household, and then the household makes their payment to the utility company. If we don't participate in the water and sewer program, they won't send payments directly to customers. But no, we don't have to. We could choose not to do the program.
I was just wondering.
Yep.
You all are deciding whether this will be an ordinance tonight.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
I move for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full bill 2 times?
An ordinance approving a low-income household water assistance program supplier agreement with the Missouri Department of Social Services Family Support Division and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. An ordinance approving a low-income household water assistance program supplier agreement with the Missouri Department of Social Services Family Support Division and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement.
I move for the for adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of the ordinance. Any discussion? City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brandy Carroll,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes.
Kim Vickers,
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Brad Alexander,
Yes.
Kelly Neto.
Yes.
Motion is approved and the ordinance is adopted. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a GCA multiple award schedule purchase order with Verizon and authorizing the city clerk to execute the agreement.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is an agreement with Verizon to utilize the GSA award schedule to purchase cell phones and data plans at a discounted government rate. This agreement essentially certifies that we are a government entity, allowing staff to utilize that schedule to purchase those plans for that discounted government rate. Thank you.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions?
I make a motion that we approve the, I don't even know how to say it, multiple award schedule purchase for the city clerk to authorize. It's backwards.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase order with Verizon, authorizing the city clerk to execute the agreement. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda are information reports. We'll start over here. Kim, do you have one tonight?
No.
Scott, do you have a report?
We have a last tournament of the year this Saturday. It's a one-day tournament at Webb Park. And then I think you'll have a report later.
Are we talking about? Yes, yes, yes. Thanks. Tom, do you have a report?
Yeah, I just want to thank Corey and Brian for coming out here tonight on the Chiefs Monday Night Football night to, in case you guys had any questions, a couple of my agenda items, and also thank them for the continuing work they do. They do a bang-up job for me every day, so thank you guys for coming out. And if you guys want to say something, you're free to give the board update or anything, so, all right. That's all I had.
Thank you. Chief, do you have a report?
Nothing. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Are you back there, Mark? Do you have a report? Okay, thank you. Chris, do you have a report? Matt, do you have a report?
Yes, just one report. So on the heels of Lick Skillet, which went quite well, I believe the chamber will probably come to a future board meeting and give an update on what occurred. We're happy to announce that we're working to bring back the Winter Wonderland Christmas parade, Mayor's Christmas tree lighting. We did a virtual lighting last year with COVID, so it's been a couple years since we've had it, but we're looking forward to bringing it back. December 4th is the date. More details to come on exactly when and where things will be happening. Thank you.
Thank you. Kim, do you have a report? No report. Kelly, do you have a report?
Yes, I just want to say thank you to the chamber, businesses, volunteers, city officials, the police department, everybody who helped with the Lick Skillet Days. I thought it went fantastic. Everything looked wonderful, and I think they can only improve from here, but I can't imagine the hard work that went into it. So just a big shout out to everybody who helped plan that. And that is all I've got.
Thank you. Jim?
No report.
Jeremy?
No report.
Brandy?
I'm just reporting that Ward 1 showed up for the Lake Skillet Days event, and
So did
you really
Ward 2.
represented. That's it.
Brad, do you have a report?
No report.
All right. I have a report. Lick Skillet was a great success. Thank you, city staff, for all your hard work, and Board of Aldermen and women that showed up to help out. I really appreciate your support. And the chamber did a fantastic job. What Scott was referring to is Saturday, which some of you already know about if you received the email, and there's a Facebook post. We're having a volunteer day at the park. They're going to start to be regular days that we'll have throughout the year, but I, as the mayor and the board, are going to start the first one. So if you didn't catch that, you're invited to be there Saturday to show up at 9 a.m., and we're going to start at Davis Memorial and the skate park, but we'll meet at Davis Memorial. That's it. If you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me later. And I, too, am excited about the spirit of Christmas coming back. We get to have the Christmas parade. I know you guys all missed it last year. All right, I'm looking for some, go ahead.
Make a motion, we adjourn into executive session under 610.021, 1 and 2.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn to executive session 610.021 and 2. Any discussion? City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brandy Carroll,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes.
Kim Vickers,
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Brad Alexander,
Yes.
Kelly Neto.
Yes.